Hey there, I'm Kart Singh, founder of Nightlink. So I've worked on over 300 email marketing campaigns and generated well over $3.5 million for all my e-commerce clients. So in this video, I'll be showing you the problem with most email campaigns and why they don't work and how you can build a high converting email campaign for your own brand step by step. So let's get right into it. So one of the biggest problems with most email campaigns is, right, that there is a thing called the discount trap. So let me ask you something. When you actually take a look at your email calendar, what do you see? If it's mostly sales, discounts and limited time offers, you're kind of falling within that discount trap agenda, right? And here's what happens when you kind of start using too many discounts and start relying on them a little too much, right? Because number one, your customers actually start to get trained to wait for sales and not buy when you provide value based emails. Your brand perception gets damaged, right? People are going to now see you as a discount brand or the cheaper alternative. If you aren't a discount brand, you don't ever want to be seen like this. This is one of the worst things ever, right? Next is your profit margins get destroyed. If you're constantly having to hand out sales and sales and sales, you're making less money on per sale that you have, right? So you need to sell more units just to make the same revenue. And that at the end of the day is not sustainable as an e-commerce brand, right? And the next is that your email starts to actually perform worse over time because people get discount fatigue. So imagine getting discount fatigue paired with the fact that people don't open your guys' emails when something normal gets sent. Now your email marketing channel as a whole starts declining and they just stop paying attention because they know another sale's coming their way, meaning the open rate and click-through rates actually start to decline. And the truth is that most brands think they need discount to get sales, but discounting actually is what's killing their long-term profitability. So what you actually should be doing is that your campaign should be roughly making up 40 to 60% of your total email marketing revenue, right? But here's the key. They shouldn't just be driving immediate sales. They should be building brand authority and trust, and you should be educating your customers on your product, right? You want to create genuine value based emails for your subscribers and position yourself as the premium, right? Not a discount brand. And I want you to think about it like this, right? Your customers are actually checking the emails multiple times per day, and they are subscribed over to other newsletters. So if you're only showing up when you need something from them, you're training them to ignore you, right? We don't want to do that. So now you're probably wondering, Cart, then what type of campaigns do I send out? Here are 16 non-discount campaigns that you can steal from us, right? So the first section we're going to call this one is, right, the educational and value-driven campaigns. So these are always tips and tricks emails, right? How it's made. So if you guys have a certain product or let's say your supplement-based brand, go a little bit deeper on how exactly it's made, right? What are some behind-the-scene actions? Because the thing is, people love transparency and authenticity, right? So if you're showing your manufacturing process, introducing team members, and just share quality standards, what this actually ends up doing is builds trust and justifies the premium pricing that your product may be having, right? Number three, again, is just more ingredient material spotlight. Because when you actually dive deeper into what makes your product special and focus on just one key ingredient, right, or material per email, and they actually explain the benefits, it shows why it matters. And this is why we want to educate them and nurture them with value. And then the fourth one, my favorite email type, right, which is the frequently asked questions. This is where we get to just answer common questions that the list or potential customers may have. And the cool thing is, this is where when people have a lot of objections about our brand or product, this is where we can actually face them in a way where we're not coming off salesy either. So it kind of helps reduce that customer service burden and builds confidence within your own product. Next, we have the relationship and brand building campaigns, right? So fifth idea, go ahead and steal this one, guys, is the founder team messages. The reason why these do so well is because personal messages perform really, really well, right? So if you're either sharing your story, explaining your mission, just make sure that you're actually being vulnerable and authentic because people like to buy from other people, not corporations, right? The number six is going to be customer stories and transformation. The thing is, this is just social proof in a story format, right? We're going to make sure we are sharing customer success stories, any sort of before or after transformations, and just real results from real people, right? And this is actually more powerful than just basic testimonials because people tend to get a little bit more desensitized to just normal testimonials, right? So if we can have an email with a different, unique angle, just like this, is going to perform really, really well. Right. Number seven, this is basic. You won't be sending out too many of these, but this is going to be a company milestone and updates. So if you have any sort of wins within your community, like business anniversaries or hitting a subscriber milestone, let's say you guys hired a new employee and you want to introduce them, or any sort of expansion news, like a new product coming, a new location, anything like that. You want to go ahead and make sure that you can send these out so it makes people feel like they're not just buying a product, but they're actually buying into a family, a community, right? And these are the type of emails that actually foster that. Number 8 is going to be our staff picks. And this kind of falls under the product and discovery campaigns. And the thing is, the staff picks works really well because it's curated product recommendations. Like we could say, hey, Sarah from customer services, top 3 picks, or what our founder uses daily, right? Because when you actually give personal recommendations of what actual people are using, it makes it more authentic than just generic bestsellers, right? Number 9 is going to be gift guides. So these are amazing towards Christmas time, beginning of the year, Valentine's, anything like that, Mother Day, Father Day. If it's wedding season, those are great, right? A perfect email for that would be the perfect gift for every type of bride, right? And you can actually curate products that work for a bachelorette party, bridal showers, or even just the wedding day itself. Next is going to be treat yourself picks, right? Sometimes it doesn't have to be a special occasion. This could just be something for, you've been working hard. Here's what our team reaches when they actually need to give a little bit of a self-care. Now, this actually gives people permission to buy something for themselves. This is how we can use the proper power of psychology within our copy and email angles to get people to buy, right? And then next could just be something that you guys could send out right now, which is amazing, which is summer essential emails, right? And this is everything you need to have for your best summer yet. That's a campaign style that you could spin up. And what you want to do is have products that are very, very specific to just summertime and solve specific summer problems, right? Or it just enhances their experience without the summer. So then it makes it feel like they can't have a great summer without having those items. Again, another psychology-based trick that we have. And the thing is, these work year-round. They may perform better on holidays, but you can always rely on these, right? 10 is going to be new arrivals, and we want to make sure that this is non-promotional. We want to showcase new products without actually, having discounts, and we want to focus on the feature and benefits. Another thing we can do is actually just tell the story behind the new product and create a sense of anticipation and desire. So one of my favorite type of campaigns that we send out, right, are community and engagement based campaigns. So one of the best ones that we actually do is send out UGC based feature emails, right? So this is where we actually get to spotlight customer content, share customer photos, any sort of reviews, and just highlight social media mentions, right? Because this actually builds that community factor that I was mentioning, and it also adds that hint of social proof that makes people want to buy into it even more. And then if you can, just sending out any sort of polls or interactive content does really, really well. And if we can get people to feel like they're buying into something. Now, this could be something like help us pick our next flavor, or what style do you prefer next? Not only does this get them to include within the product development insights, but it makes them actually feel more involved, right? So next are going to be our seasonal and timely based campaigns. Again, something that are really good for this time right now in summer when this video is currently being made. So 13 is going to be seasonal content, non-sales. So what this actually looks like is we're going to connect with what's happening in the world. So this could be weather-related content. This could be seasonal lifestyle tips, right? Helping people make the best of each season. Any sort of spring cleaning organization trips or summer travel hacks, fall productivity strategies, anything like that. This is our best chance to do it. And the next one is going to be holiday traditions without actually promoting a product. So now this is more personal, right? Share them how your team celebrates, right? Or why do we celebrate certain different holidays? This could also be some sort of educational content, right? You want to build connection without always having to sell something. So this is what's going to start subconsciously training these people to open our email, right? And not just to leave or expect a discount. Then 14 is going to be our Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday. And these do really, really well because it builds that nostalgic content that actually shows that there is some sort of brand history. So this could be a company founding story. So you can make it a TBT, Throwback Thursday email, and then just have it to throwback to when we started this company with $500 in a dream. You actually want to share the humble beginnings in this, right? Early struggles and breakthrough moments, because once again, this makes your brand not feel like a corporation and makes people feel like they're buying from other people. And then this could just be the first product launch. So just go over what was one of your first few products. And this could be a Flashback Friday style email, right? FBF. These do really, really well. Or just some customer testimonials from the early days and just be like, hey, flashback to our first ever customer review, just to show how far you guys have came and how you've constantly just been helping people throughout this entire process, right? Because this right here is what's going to add that depth to your brand story and make you guys even more personable. And next is going to be our authority and expertise-based campaigns. Again, some of my favorite. So what you could do is do a industry insight and trends. So this is our chance to position ourselves as experts and actually share some sort of industry knowledge, right? Discuss what trends are going within your customers. Provide that insider perspective, because what this is going to end up doing is now the customer or the person on your email list is now going to see you as someone of authority and that they can trust, because you're actually providing some sort of reasonable value without selling, right? And that next one, which is one of my personal favorites that we implement for all of our clients and does so well, is the myth busting campaigns, right? So addressing common misconceptions within your actual industry, right? Like 5 skincare myths that are damaging your skin, or the truth about the industry that you're in, right? This again just places you in that position of being a knowledgeable expert that people love and they want to buy from, right? So now you know all these campaign ideas, right? But now how can we actually put this within one cohesive campaign calendar? So step one is you want to identify your key dates, right? So start by mapping out any sort of important dates for the month. Now this could include product launches, seasonal events, company milestones, and just industry events. And make sure that these are your anchor points that your content is now going to be built around. Then step two, choose your campaign types, right? So select the ones from all the 16, revisit this video, scroll a little bit back and see which ones you want that we just covered, right? And just make sure you're mixing content just to make sure there's some sort of variety within this and it's going to keep the subscribers engaged. Then what I want you to do is map the content out for your calendar for 4 weeks ahead, right? Now plan for 3 to 4 campaigns per week. This is what we've seen as the right number for subscribers to actually remember you. And just make sure you're using different campaign times and actually leaving some room. So if there's any sort of emails that we may need to add or reactive content that may come up, we can easily slide that in within this, right? So here's what a typical month may look like for your brand. Here's an example, right? So week one, we're going to go ahead and start off with a Monday staff picks email. And this is going to be Sarah from customer service, top 3 products, right? Personal recommendations, once again, feel really good. Then on Wednesday, we're going to send out a tips and trick email, some educational content that actually provides immediate value. So now if you're a skincare brand, it could be 5 ways you're using this product wrong, right? So 5 ways you're using our sunscreen wrong. It's value-based content, place you guys as the expert subconsciously within their thought process. And then on Friday, we can go ahead and make sure we have a behind the scenes email, right? So a flashback Friday, this is going to look really, really good. Just shows your manufacturing process, maybe quality testing or team at work. We're just going to build trust through transparency right here, right? Now, week 2, we could have Monday being a customer story, right? So again, this could be a throwback or this could be current time, but we're going to put this in that one angle where it's not just a plain boring customer testimonial, but making sure that we're having some sort of story and include photos and just specific results that the potential customer may have achieved. And then Wednesday could be a product education email. So again, just more value-based content followed with Friday on a founder's message. What I would do is make this a plain text email so it even looks more personal. And it's just going to look really good because you're connecting with the person on your email list in a human-to-human format, right? Sunday could be a gift guide email. These look really, really good. Why? Sundays when people have a lot of free time, they're kind of just scrolling on their phones. And if we can provide them with some sort of value right here and in a fun, interactive email like gift guides, again, they're going to remember you guys and it's going to look really well. So now we got the first 2 weeks done. How can we get into the last 2 weeks of the month? So week 3, we're going to stick for 3 emails this week. And on Monday, we can just do a frequently asked questions email. So any sort of common customer questions that they may have, we're going to address this right here. Or any sort of objections, we handle them right here. And we're going to make our customer service team's life a bit easier, right? Now, Wednesday, this is going to be industry insights. So now, again, let's position ourselves as the experts within this industry, right? Like we know what's going on. So now people want to shop with us even more. We are the authority and we are building trust. And then Friday, we follow with a fun UGC style email, right? Just any sort of customer photos, reviews, social media posts. Just show actual people using your products right here and loving it itself. It's going to go a long way. Now we wrap it up week 4 with 3 emails again. And on Monday, it's going to be a simple how it's made. A little bit more deeper dive into your specific product, highlight any sort of quality traits that makes you guys different, craftsmanship, or just any sort of unique things about your brand right here. Then Wednesday, we're going to send out my favorite email, the myth busting emails. So address any sort of common misconceptions again, right? Perfect chance to handle some sort of objections right here. Following with a Friday team update email to just wrap up the month, show them exactly what you guys could be doing for next month that can keep the email list excited. Make this personal, make it a plain text email. We'll do really well. Pro tip, you want to go ahead and make sure you create the templates for each campaign type so it makes execution way faster and also ensures consistency within your brand. So now, how do you actually write these campaigns, right? You have the campaign calendar set, you have the ideas, now you actually need to make this. So the first thing you want to do is your subject line, right? Because this is what's going to determine if your emails actually get opened. And here are some high performing subject lines that you guys can actually steal yourself that work really, really well. So one is a question format one, which is something like, are you making this skincare mistake? It's going to drive their curiosity. Another one is a curiosity format, right? The ingredients everyone's talking about. Personal format, a message from our founder. And then another one, which is a more benefit-driven format, which is how to get your skin glowing in 7 days. And then another one, you may throw in your just Friday emails, a little bit more promotional emails. Urgency without discount, right? Like only 48 hours left to vote. And as far as the email structuring goes, right? We want to master the opening hook, which is the first 2 sentences, right? Because we want to grab their attention immediately and make a bold statement or ask some sort of provocative question that's actually going to connect with people within their pain and desires and get their eyeball on the email itself so they actually scroll and look at it as a whole. So now this is where we are going to provide the promised value up front. So what you want to go ahead and do is make sure you're using bullet points to make sure the scanning is easy when we're listing multiple items. And we want to go ahead and make sure we can include some sort of specific actionable advice. Next is going to be soft product integration. We now want to naturally finesse in our products as a solution right here, right? Don't make it feel like a hard sell. Focus on the benefits, not the features. Now we want to have a clear CTA button. Make it specific and actually some sort of action orient, right? Now this could be shop now, buy now, something like this, where it's going to drive a sense of action. It's not going to confuse them. And just test different button versus text links to see what works actually better for your audience, because what may work for one brand is not what's going to work for yours, right? And what may work for you may not work for another brand. So as far as some design principles to keep in mind for your campaigns, make sure you're keeping it scannable. Use short paragraphs of 1 to 3 sentences, plenty of white space, and some sort of clear hierarchy within the actual headers. Make sure you have a mobile first design, because the thing is, most of your emails are going to be read on mobile, so we want to go to make sure that the CTAs are easier to tab, single column layout, and it all loads out pretty well. And then we want to make sure we're ensuring some sort of brand consistency. So always be using your brand color and fonts, consistent header and footer design, and just maintaining professional but a approachable tone. Like you're almost talking to a friend, but not too comfortable. Like you just got introduced to a friend of a friend, right? So now you know what type of campaigns to send. Now you know how to create a campaign calendar, and now you know how to write one up. But now what's the last step of making sure our campaigns are generating at least 40 to 60% of our email revenue? It is optimizations. So now, natural question that we get all the time, hey, what should we test? Here's the exact solutions, right? First thing that we want to test is send times, right? Start with a broad difference like 9 a.m. versus 5 p.m. and then just start narrowing down once you find that winning time frame, and just test different days of the week, because for some people, weekend emails do really well. Other brands, it doesn't. So see what works for yours. Next is subject line testing. So test long versus short, question versus statement, emoji versus no emoji. You get the idea, right? And then content format testing, right? So now again, some brands do really well with graphic heavy emails, while others do really well with text heavy emails, right? Some do really good with bullet points, but others do really good with some sort of infographic. Just see what works for your brand. Test right here and see what resonates well. And then make sure that these are some of the key metrics you're tracking. Open rate, industry average is 15 to 25%. Let's aim to get it around 45% above or more. If you are getting 15 to 25%, that is just tethering before you're not about to get blacklisted or it's not having an engaging audience. So you want to focus on who you're sending out this email to. So focus on your subject line and actually having sender name optimization ready. Click-through rates, industry averages 2 to 5. This is correct. We want to stay at this right here. So focus on relevant content and actual CTA optimization itself. Biggest thing, what we have noticed when we make the CTA just a little bit bigger than it does, our click-through rates always skyrocket, right? So just test the size, pro tip right there. And then revenue per email, this is what your actual ultimate success metric will be. So track both immediate and attributed revenue, and then just making sure that your list is growing at a good rate or you're not losing too many people at once, right? Quality campaigns are going to reduce on sub rates because people are going to like what they are seeing and they aren't being hard pitched. They're buying from another person, not a corporation. Now, the thing is, you're probably an e-commerce brand or you help with the marketing of this, watching this, and it seems like it's a lot because it is, right? So you probably don't have the time to implement all of this yourself. So if you want my agency to handle your email marketing, go to the description below and book a call with me. We'll optimize your entire email system from your pop-up form to your email flows, your weekly email campaigns. We'll take a look at every single thing that we have going on right now, and I'm going to provide an audit for you for free, right? We're going to give you some upfront value and show you exactly where those leaky holes are, just like we've done for a bunch of other ecom brands, including Drink Delta, right? Beverage-based brand that we generated 1.72 million in 6 months when they started working with us, right? So you can watch Tim's interview with us when we did that right here, or Prove, another health and wellness-based brand that added an extra $154,000 every single month to their top line in 5 months and went from 10% to 30% of their email attributed revenue from our strategy. Another one, right? Safe and Vault. We helped them scale from 90,000 all the way to 152K within 30 days from our email marketing strategy. So again, if this is interesting, they all started off with the same process. They booked in a call. We took a look at where those leaky holes were. This is a no pressure type call. It is just value, your chance to talk with me, and we can figure out how we can help your brand go to the next level. So go to the first link in the description below. And if you want to see any sort of more case studies, just book a time to speak with me and we can go over it all.